Hey, how's it going? My name's Alex, and I just spent $10,000 on this here reliable Ram. Let me tell you what's in the bill and what happened and why it was a good idea or a bad idea. I'm not sure. All right, so we jumped in the truck just because it is super windy outside and the audio will just suck. So another one of those truck videos. But anyways, I took the truck to the shop. It's called Christian Brothers. It's like a chain in the Texas area. So anyways, the first thing I told them to do is do a right here engine computer performance testing, $129 normal. Then coolant system performance test, $69.95. Then courtesy brake inspection, courtesy inspection. Then here is the unexpected one. I was not expecting to do this earlier, but you know the reason I'm talking about it is because my truck is not deleted, and if my truck were deleted, I wouldn't be talking about this. So, but anyways, so right here, replace SCR. SCR is selective catalytic reducer, I think. Something selective, I don't know. Anyways, SCR, emissions garbage basically, and exhaust gas temperature sensors. That was right there $2,110.85. So I wasn't expecting to have to do the SCR at like 110,000 miles. That's when I think I got it done. So it's unfortunate that the emissions are that reliable, but are unreliable. But that is the nature of the beast, and I'm sure that's a common thing. All right, moving on, guys. I think I mentioned in a previous video, it was the air conditioner blower motor. I was having some, like, when I would turn the thing, it wouldn't blow. It was like hot or cold. Anyway, something was wrong with the air conditioning. They pinpointed and said it was the blower motor. So I did replace that. Keep in mind, this is a 2015 truck. We're in 2021. And so a 6-year-old truck is going to have little plastic bits and pieces like that fail. So, and plus, I don't think a blower motor is common or is uncommon. I think on the Rams that it was an issue. I think I've done a blower motor on mine for sure. Now the thing, another thing that I did not expect to do. Okay, now guys, these are all because of the wheels and tires, right? I am doing the 19.5s and they are super heavy and the tires are bigger than stock calls for. So replace upper and lower ball joints on both sides. Front hub assemblies plus alignment, okay? That was $2,185. So technically, because I decided to buy a truck, or no, I mean technically I bought the truck with 19.5s, and what I should have done was downgraded right away to the 17-inch wheels back to stock, right? 17-inch Alcoas are like cheap compared to these wheels and tires. And I tried to do that. I tried to do a trade with someone for the 19.5s to Alcoas, but there wasn't really anyone, and so I just kind of winged it, right? And so that's why I'm paying the price, you know? So technically, if you have a factory truck, or if you have a Ram, leave your suspension stock, you won't have to do ball joints at 100,000 miles. And so, yeah, alignment, whatever, but you know, the ball joints and the hub assemblies, that is super uncommon for 100,000 miles Ram. Nobody would ever have that. Okay, moving on. Rear wheel seals and repack wheel bearings. This was one of those things that Ram has a small issue. For some reason, the seals on the back don't last long, and I don't know if that's a tire or wheel related issue as well. I don't know. As you can see, there's a lot of problems because I'm running the 19.5s that are super heavy. Then $132 diesel oil change, fully synthetic diesel oil and disposal fee. Then crankcase ventilation filter, $305 or $305 and a penny for a crankcase filter. I think those must have gone up in value because I thought crankcase filters were usually $200, or the filters are $194, I guess. So, whatever, in an hour to install. All right, moving on. Then we got fuel filters, $251, and then even more. Replace cabin air filter. I don't think I had a cabin air filter, so I'm like, hey guys, can you just put one in there? And that was $32, and then shop supplies, $39.75. So a total whopping bill, including tax, $7,219. And your first thought might be, Alex, you clickbait. That's whatever. Oh, I'm so mad at you. But hold on, $7,200. That was the service. Now, if you deduct a couple things, why this truck is expensive just for me more than anything is if you deduct the ball joints, right? and all that suspension issues, that's $2,000 you could have saved. And if you deduct the SCR, you know, if you did like a stealth delete, I'm not recommending it, but I know people do it with deletes. They do a stealth delete. But if you would have done that, technically that's $4,000 from the bill gone immediately. So, you know, between those two issues, unexpected problems, you know, it's just figuring out the kinks. You know, I highly doubt I'll have another bill like this, but why was it $10,000? Now, these Toyos, right, the Toyos that I had, the 285 size, if you recall, I did have a blowout one time and I did have to go buy a spare, and I ended up not using that spare. Or, you know, I bought the tire, but I ended up not using the tire because I didn't have a rim. And so what I did is I found a Toyo dealer, okay? Now, I wanted to go with Toyos, and here's why. These are the 245, 75, 19.5, and let me tell you, these 19.5 inch tires have the highest load and speed rating that I could find. All the other tires had much lower load ratings. So, for example, much lower speed ratings. So even though they could say, oh, it's a load range E, 4,000 pounds per tire, it's only rated for 65 miles an hour. And so that was the problem I was running into. I didn't want that. And so I believe these Toyos, first of all, they look like they'll have good winter traction, which is important because 19.5s don't have good traction for in the winter. And the other thing, I wanted a good load and speed rating. So I believe these are like 4,000 something pounds and 87 miles an hour, which is the highest on a 19.5 I've ever seen. Now, it's not because I go 87 miles an hour, it's just because the higher the rating, the longer they'll last at a lower speed. So keep that in mind. But these tires were really expensive. So I got 7 of those tires, and I actually ordered a steel spare direct bolt-on 19.5 inch tire as well, just to make sure I do have a spare now. And sure enough, the tires were right here, 7 tires, $470 per tire. That means total $3,290 but then obviously the rim, and there's some tax, and so the total bill for the tires was $3,683.82. So technically, if we do $3,600 plus whatever the other bill was, which was $7,200, that's or $7,219, but just round numbers, that's $10,800. So getting closer to 11 grand. So moral of the story, okay, if you're wondering what can you take away from this video, is if you're gonna buy a dually truck, guys, looking flashy is expensive, so don't do it. But no, on a serious note, like, I really genuinely believe 19.5s are a total waste. I really think, I was getting a phone call. I really think, guys, stick with the 17. Somebody came up to me and asked me, hey Alex, what, like, you have 19.5s, do you recommend? And I've done a video previously on my single wheel silver truck, 18s versus 19.5s, and I'm telling you, if somebody could make dually 18-inch wheels, please, that would be amazing. If somebody has any idea on how to get custom made 18-inch wheels, that would be beautiful. I would just hug and kiss them, because at the end of the day, I would really want to run a Cooper AT3 XLT in a 295 75 18 or 70 18. But anyways, there's a Cooper that's a 295 and it has a 4,100 pound load rating and 112 mile an hour speed rating. That's the best tires I found that last the longest on my single wheel truck. So on this dually, if I could get 18-inch wheels with those tires, that would be so phenomenal, and I would absolutely appreciate if somebody could do that. However, when I started looking for 18-inch wheels, nobody said they make them. Literally no one. So my alternative was either go to 20s or 17s. So when I was shopping for tires, I knew I'd have to spend like $3,000 on tires. And so I was like, man, I'd rather just spend $3,000 on wheels and tires. And I ended up not doing that for some reason. I forgot what the reasoning was, but I was like, well, let me keep giving these 19.5s a try, I guess, you know. Because look, the reason I can't do 17s is because this truck has a lift, and with this lift and the 17s, it's just gonna look so goofy, you know. And so now I did go down in size. I went from a 285 to a 245, and so the speed is a little bit more accurate now, so that's a plus. And the MPG, I know I complained a lot about the MPG. The MPG is a little bit more accurate. But I think what I'm going to start doing is, if I cannot find anybody to make me 18-inch wheels, if you know, or you can, please let me know. But I would really want to see 18-inch wheels and the Cooper AT3 tires. If I cannot find that option, I will then probably just go down to 17s. But anyways, this isn't a tire video. Most of these expenses you probably wouldn't have had if you were buying a Ram at 100,000 miles. But ultimately, I did it for the video. So make sure you like the video. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.